Okay, let's look a little bit more closely at Aristotle's definition of happiness: an activity in the soul in accordance with reason. An activity in the soul in accordance with reason. Sometimes he says an activity in the soul in accordance with virtue. An activity in the soul in accordance with virtue. And virtue and reason, they go together for reasons I'll explain in a second. But let's break that down for a second. Happiness for Aristotle, the Greek word is eudaimonia. Eu means good, like in Eucharist. Eucharis. Charis is grace, eu is good, so good grace, or literally thank you, in the word Eucharist. Eudaimonia, daimon, means spirit. In the New Testament, this word for spirit came to have a negative connotation, like a demon, a daimon. But happiness for Aristotle is simply eudaimonia, having a good spirit, being possessed with a good spirit. Okay, and it's an activity in the soul in accordance with reason. That is, it's an activity. It's not something passive. It's not something that happens to us. Like even the English word happiness, we have the word hap in there, which means chance or luck. This is not what Aristotle thinks happiness is at all. It's not chance or luck. It's something you do. It's an activity. It's an activity, not a passivity. Something like pleasure is a passivity. Something like pleasure we don't have really much control over, although we do, as we'll come to see. But you don't really have you don't really have control over what tastes sweet to you or what tastes sour. That happens to you. That's a passivity. But what you find delight in, what you find pleasure in this other sense, is something active. It's something you do. Happiness is an activity. It's your responsibility, okay? And it's in the soul, that is in the psyche, in the psyche, in the mind. That is, it's not in the body. Happiness is an activity. It's something you do that affects your mind, that affects mental flourishing, because it's rational, right? So happiness is an activity in the soul, not the body. It's not a passivity in the body. It's an activity in the soul in accord with our essential nature, logos. Why is it in accord with logos? Because that's our essential nature. He also says happiness is an activity in the soul in accordance with virtue, or arete. And the Greek word arete means something like nobility or excellence or perfection. And in one sense, what he means by that is simply that happiness is a fully functioning and flourishing and perfectly well-oiled machine. Happiness is the human being functioning at its height and its perfection. It's a self-actualization, if you will. But also, too, happiness is an activity in the soul in accordance with arete in this other sense that that virtue for Aristotle, as we'll see, is a rational activity. That is, the moral life is a rational activity for Aristotle. That is, happiness as an activity in the soul in accordance with reason or virtue means reason controlling the emotions. That's what virtue is. Virtue is rationality regulating the emotion, the human passion, the human's desires and needs and emotional life. And we even get this now. We would even say that someone who's happy has control of their life, and someone who's unhappy is losing control. And what Aristotle thinks is happiness is mental stability. It's mental control. It's reason guiding and running your emotional life. Okay, so happiness is an activity in the soul in accordance with reason. It's an activity in the soul in accordance with virtue.